The Bruins take down the Senators 3-2 at home to remain unbeaten at home. I'm Evan Marinofsky, here with Conor Ryan of Boston Sports Journal. Again, 2 straight home games for us. I mean, this is it's pretty crazy. And we have Thursday, too, people can look forward to, which will be a much more important game and a better game. But we're going to talk about this one first. Rough first period. Really rough first period for the Bruins. Much better second. Good enough third. What did you think?
Yeah, it's kind of been the same kind of song and dance for this Bruins team so far, where you haven't really had a full 60-minute effort. This game's a little bit different in that for a lot of these games, they've had some pretty strong starts. You look at the game down in Florida, good start, and the game got away from them in the second period. This was kind of flipping the script a little bit. Really, really bad start, as you said. I mean, give up a goal, minute 14 into the game. You have a chance to answer with some power plays and had nothing going, right? I mean, you had a few miscues there that wipe out the power plays, a lot of, backtracking in the neutral zone. Really nothing really to build off of that first period. Eventually, the game takes over. I mean, they're still playing an Ottawa team that young, rebuilding, also dealing with a string of COVID issues. So this was pretty much a game that you mapped out as, all right, you need to get 2 points. Took care of business, but still, you look at just the bigger picture of building some momentum. You still want to eventually string together a 60-minute effort. Hasn't been the case so far for them yet.
No, it hasn't, and that's become a bigger issue with this team. They're not stringing together these 60-minute efforts. Bruce Cassidy talked after the game saying, look, a guy like Nick Foligno would be a guy who could help us in these 60-minute efforts, and guys down the lineup and identifying who's going to help them kind of get energy late in games. This game got a little heated, though. There was some heat going on out there. I mean, Clifton gets in his fight. There was some skirmishes around the Ottawa net. This isn't a necessarily super tough Bruins team, but could the physicality like that, is that going to be something that maybe helps them get full 60 minutes, generating some energy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a big key is how they were able to kind of right the ship in this one. As you said, the game started getting a lot more physical, really chippy, and they kind of responded. And you could kind of chalk it up in the first period as they were kind of sleepwalking for most of it. And sometimes it takes a couple of heavy checks to get really kind of invested and get going in the game. Bruce Cassidy kind of mentioned that McAvoy is kind of the main guy doing it, which you'd like to have a few more guys. Not to say that you need, Brad Marchand or David Pastrnak to be running guys or getting into scraps, but hopefully you have more guys buying into it, whether that's a Forbert, whether it's, Curtis Lazar had a good check later in the game. So if that's what it takes to get them to, refocus, stay focused on the task at hand and not kind of have these sleepwalking periods where they let the game kind of get away from them, it's going to be key. So in that regard, it's good to build off of this just in terms of answering the bell against a team that you should beat, but it could have gotten away from you if you didn't kind of, lock things down as the game kind of progressed.
Well, Derek Forbert is now Bobby Orr. People forget. Derek Forbert, that goal, I mean, that's Bobby Orr-esque.
He's got the same amount of goals as Torrey Krug, I think Cale Makar, which I know probably hurts your heart, but
Quinn Hughes, too.
Quinn Hughes, exactly. I mean, well worth the money right now. I'm sure a lot of Bruins fans would agree that, so far it's been a little bit of a shaky start for Derek Forbert, but still, I don't think he's going to be challenging for the Art Ross or anything as the year goes on, but still, you'll take the contributions into there. It seems like afterwards, Forbert was talking about he was more or less surprised that they had that much space and he kind of had that lane to go down to go far side there. But Bruins will take it any way they can.
Well, it was a great shift by the Coyle line, right? The give and go with Coyle at the point and just the work down low by Smith and Hall. But one area where Taylor Hall was not creating was the turnovers. Had the turnover on that first goal. He had Bruce Cassidy mentioned some turnovers at the blue line late in the game. He was not with that line late in the game. So Trent Frederick was hurt. Because Trent Frederick was hurt, they had to kind of mishmash the lines a bit. Jake DeBrusk went up with Coyle and Smith late in the game. That's not great to see your $6 million investment like Taylor Hall have a tough time and not be able to play late in games like that.
Yeah, a little bit of a give and take there. Obviously not an ideal stop for him. Has that brutal turnover. Really kind of struggled to piece together a full effort, and you need a guy like him, especially. I mean, we've talked about this on multiple podcasts before, that you need a guy like Taylor Hall to kind of be the driver there. Hasn't really been the case so far yet. There's been stretches where they've looked pretty good, but you need to string that together for, again, a theme. A full 60 minutes has not been the case. I also think, Bruce Cassidy wants to reward a guy like Jake DeBrusk, who, Bruce Cassidy mentioned that at the end of a game, you want your players to be playing winning hockey, paying attention to details. And DeBrusk, maybe he didn't have the flashiest game, but was effective on the penalty kill, which they've incorporated him into a little bit more. So I think it was a little bit of a give and take of Hall having a bad game, try to do a reset, put this game in the rearview mirror, and also give DeBrusk, a little bit of a nod there that, again, wasn't flashy, didn't end up on the score sheet, but did the little things that if this was 2-3 years ago and you put Jake DeBrusk on the PK, you'd be like, you missing like 4 or 5 regular guys. So, good and bad. Still a lot more bad in terms of the fact that, again, as you said, you don't want Taylor Hall, a guy you're paying $6 million, to be relegated to a bottom 6 spot in crunch time.
Yeah, no, and that's something that I think we're going to have to see more out of him, especially in those moments. But again, also throughout the game. I mean, you can't be some of the turnovers were just like, come on. So there's some good stuff out of this one, but this is not your, average, oh my God, everything's awesome type of win. There was more bad than good, probably. Maybe it was 60-40 good, bad. I don't know.
Considering the way the Bruins have been playing so far this year, in the stop-and-go schedule, I think Bruins fans should at least be happy that, 1, you're playing a good amount of games right now, and 2, again, 2 points is still 2 points. You'll take that. You'll hopefully build some momentum off of it, but still waiting for that, 60-minute effort, which you got Edmonton coming up next that if you sleepwalk out of the gate, they can bury you in a hurry, a little bit better than the Ottawa Senators, so they have to be ready for that one coming up.
Yeah, you can't sleepwalk against McDavid. The Rangers tried it. It didn't work. Can't do it. Anyways, Bruins win 3-2. We will be back here at the Garden on Thursday. Poke the Bear will be coming out soon. Obviously, go follow Conor for all of his Boston Sports Journal Bruins coverage. You can follow me over at CLNS Media. You, Bruins fans, have a great rest of your night.